Fox, the plant killer. Plant murderer.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Today I have a new guest in. Well, another new guest. Her name over on Twitch is ForFoxSake. She is a German streamer over on Twitch and also an actress, I believe. So today we're going to be chatting to get to know her a little bit better, and maybe you'll even get to hear me fail at speaking some German. So without any further ado, let's get into today's episode and meet today's guest. All right. I hate starting these because I always feel like I'm doing like a formal newscaster interview, and I just feel like it feels awkward and forced. How was your day? What did you do today?
My day was fine. I don't know. I didn't do much.
Nice.
My flatmate sometimes sits dogs, so we have an extra dog in the flat right now. So I was admiring him because he's really beautiful.
Yeah. What kind of dog is he?
We don't know. He came from France, and it's I don't know. He looks kind of a little bit like these like short-haired border collie or Australian shepherds. So He has the white mark in the face, and he has a bit of merle. And like one eye is dark brown, and the other one is half, like the upper half is dark brown, and the other half is really light blue.
Pretty.
Very pretty, but we have no idea.
Yeah.
He's quite
Okay.
big. He's bigger, I think, than maybe Australian shepherds can be quite big. I don't know, but it's probably, we don't know. I think he was rescued, so no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Did you?
And then,
Go ahead.
and then I bought these LED strips. So I just taped them because I didn't want to commit to the self-adhering stuff yet.
Yeah.
So this is like soft launching potentially a new stream background as well.
Okay. Cool. Exciting.
I put my plants back there and stuff.
Is that a monstera?
Fox splashy. Sorry.
Is that a monstera behind you?
It's propagation of a monstera. The big one is here in front of me, but it's
Artlist.io.
It grew very long.
Yeah.
So I cut off some leaves to maybe eventually get it to be like full.
Does your monstera already have fenestrations?
Yeah, they've been in the water for. I think some of them have been in the water for over a year. I should probably
Music
put
licensing
them in pots.
Yeah. No, I have.
You know how it goes. You wait for spring, and then spring comes and goes, and then you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got my first plant that I ever have owned is a monstera. I've had it for 3 years, I think. And so I propagated it a little bit just because, actually, I've propagated it twice. One I kept, one I gave to a friend. And it's finally started getting aerial roots. And I'm looking forward to when it finally starts to split the leaves.
Do you put the aerial roots in water? That's a hack I learned at some point. Just put a cup of water like next to the plant and take one of the aerial roots, just stick it in a cup of water, and it really helps.
Really?
I don't know why, but it helps the plant a lot.
No, I haven't done that.
Yeah. It's crazy. I did that. I mean, right now I don't have that, but I did that a while ago. This plant I have, it's a flatmate moved away, and I just took his plants because he was like, well, he's gonna be in a van for a year. He's not gonna bring his plants along. And and then I saw this online and I did it, and then I had like a new leaf immediately. It was really crazy. She really looked better. So, low effort plant hack.
Do the aerial roots, when you soak them in water like that, do they just start sprouting more roots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Music licensing
Cool.
reimagined.
All right.
I guess that's also a way to propagate, maybe.
Yeah. What other plants do you have?
I mean, I don't know the names, also the English pronunciations. So all of these back there are, what do you call them? Saplings? No. Saplings is for trees, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right? Yeah? Okay. So they're all saplings. Well, actually, no, the one there.
Okay.
It's a. Is it satin photos? I think if it translates.
Okay.
But everything else is just in water.
Mm-hmm.
This one here is a. In German, it's Schefflera. I don't know if it's similar in English. Schefflera, I don't know.
I have no idea.
That one can actually grow up to be a tree, kind of.
Okay.
And this is one of the first plants I bought. Not this specific one, but the same one. And I don't know. I killed it. I think I don't have any of the original plants I bought at first. I think I managed to kill them all. And then in the like little greenhouse, there's another monstera, the one with the like Swiss cheese one.
Oh yeah.
And another satin pothos. And something else that I don't know the name of.
That's I would say I'm not the best plant dad because I don't know my plants' names, but so far I've only killed one plant. Two, actually, I killed a succulent. Which
That's impressive. I've killed many.
So, ForFoxSake is a plant murderer. Got it.
Yeah, because I care too much, I overwater them usually. It's not because I forget about them. I want to do too much and then they just...
Yeah, it's hard to be patient with plants. Because
I had like a whole app set up and everything and was supposed to tell me when to water and that didn't work as well. So now I just try to ignore them and only water when they give me very obvious signs.
Yeah.
Leaves and stuff.
My money tree is thriving because I just kind of let it do its thing.
Yeah.
I just noticed like 2 new branches growing the other day and they are really growing. I actually think I should like trim it down a little bit because it's, or just repot it. Maybe I'll repot it soon. But anyways, so Fox, I found you because I love Hollow Knight. That is like my favorite game of all time.
Nice.
I think I showed off my Hollow Knight tattoo. And you're also... It's hard to show off on camera.
Did I put the... Dang it. I have this sort of Hollow Knight figurine, but I don't know where I put it.
Of the vessel or the knight?
Yeah, the knight. Because my boyfriend has a 3D printer and he 3D printed a little figurine that's like you can take it apart and I will maybe eventually paint it and stuff, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, that's cool.
I should have prepared.
I mean, if you've played Hollow Knight, it's gonna come up with me. I love talking about that game.
Yeah.
What's your favorite boss fight so far in that game?
I don't know. I feel like I definitely, especially in the beginning, I was grinding the Mantis Lords for a really long time because I didn't have enough upgrades yet.
Yeah.
Like people told me you're doing this quite early because I hadn't gone to the city and stuff. I hadn't upgraded my nail. And I think I eventually started a counter and it took me 34 tries maybe to beat them.
Oh wow. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, but so because I invested so much time in that fight and like learned their movements and stuff, I feel like I really enjoyed that one. And then I've now also met the Sisters of Battle, so that's even crazier.
Yeah, that fight's nuts.
Yeah, I do like False Knight or Failed Champion. I kind of confuse with the Dream Bosses sometimes, but just because I can, if I have Quick Slash on, I can basically always beat him very easily, which is just nice. I just enjoy that being quite the quick fight because you could just go in.
Yeah.
Wait a second, go in. Like that's, I don't know. I enjoy that fight.
Dude, I have a hard time with the Dream version of that fight, like still, and I feel like I'm not bad at that game.
I think it's just probably just style and stuff. Like I don't know. I feel like people just have issues with different bosses.
Yeah, like
or like randomly an easy boss just gets hard. I remember when I was grinding P4. there was one day where I just wasn't able to do Lost Kin. I just lost 50 times to Lost Kin immediately, and I was like, what happened? This was easy.
Yeah, I think I was there for that
Now
fight.
it's hard. Like, what? I don't know. It seems random.
One fight that always gives me trouble in the 5th Pantheon is, and you'll have to forgive me because I get the two mixed up, I think Markoth or Zero. The one where you just have a couple platforms and you like jump around while he shoots the nails at you.
I think Zero.
Okay.
Markoth is the one with the flying, like, flower shield thing.
That's the one. Yeah, that one I have
Okay.
trouble with. Fox, when did you... What was your first game ever?
I mean, ever, like, as a child? I don't know. I remember I had a Game Boy Color, like, kind of
Artlist.io.
I think that was the first, like, console, if you wanna call it that. My sister had the Game Boy Pocket, the like it was blue, but it was still everything in black and white.
Yeah.
So I was playing Pokemon on that. I remember that I had a Barbie game, but
Music
I
licensing
had no idea
reimagined.
what would happen in that game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about it. I don't know if I played it, but I remember what the little cassette thing looked like. But so Pokemon, and then we had a Nintendo 64, and I remember Yoshi's Island vividly, and I've replayed that also a few years ago on an emulator.
Yeah, for
And I was
stream.
really sad because it's not that much content, right? So I played through it like
Artlist.io.
3 or 4 times, and then I was like, well, how can I get more of this? Because when I like a game, I usually try to find something that's like specifically that. Like,
Right.
I didn't want to play any of the other Mario games because they didn't have the exact same graphics or like the same style or, you know, different attacks and stuff. I'm like, no, I want
Music
exactly that.
licensing
Yeah.
So I
reimagined.
found these, I guess, kind of like mods where people just build additional levels and did some stuff, and those are all extremely difficult because people just go crazy.
Yeah. I
Um,
love the modding community because of that. Like,
Right.
games live way longer than they should. Not should, but, you know, than they were intended to.
Yeah, it's super cool, and also that, like, people get into the
Artlist.io.
because they started making fan art basically, right?
Yeah.
Modding games, and then they're like, well, I guess I'm gonna do this as a career.
I think somebody from... I think they did like a mod originally. It was like Fallout London. And I think they got hired at
Music
Bethesda because of
licensing
it.
reimagined.
I could be
Yeah.
misremembering that, but I think I'm right.
I definitely heard a story like that somebody started modding for a game and then got involved with the next part of that game professionally. No, but I actually, for the last few months, always said that I'm very new to gaming. Because in my mind, I don't consider the games I played as a kid, like, I don't think I had phases where I would play a lot, or like, you know, consider myself a gamer if I play like Pokemon on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But the more I play now, the more I get memories. I was like, oh yeah, I used to play this game on PC, which was Tintin. And I was like, hey, this is this game, and like I jumped up and down and stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, I do play more than I ever. And so like when I started gaming now, about a year and a half ago, I started off
Did you get good at, like, flying in that game? Because that's the reason that I stopped. Did
you not finish the game?
No, I didn't. Like, I got so frustrated with for some reason, vehicles in video games drive me nuts. Like, I'm a fine driver in real life.
Interesting. I've seen a lot of people on Reddit, on the Outer Wilds Reddit, talk about how the spaceship is difficult to maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, because I didn't game much before, maybe, like, in the beginning was super difficult, and I don't think I'm good at flying it. Like, the landings are not soft or anything.
Yeah.
But I just don't think I thought about it that much, and I didn't have anything to compare, like, in experience.
Yeah.
Because I never played many games where I had to fly spaceships, or, like, I'm horrible at racing games. I always drift off the road.
Music
and, like,
licensing
reimagined. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
But I've heard people talk about how the controls for the Outer Wilds spaceship are weird and how it's different to other games and stuff, and I think that's why it's difficult for a lot of people, but maybe for me, because inexperienced, it wasn't too bad.
Well, even games like Starfield, I'm bad at piloting in, and I know that's another space example, but in Halo, I was bad at driving in that game.
Artlist.io.
But I just feel like I've never felt comfortable driving in a video game. I mean, Mario Kart, like, maybe, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, I mean, Subnautica, you have some drivable stuff. I was bad
Music
at
licensing reimagined.
I
just crash against everything, but besides that, I don't know.
I only found out about Subnautica recently because of another YouTuber that I like.
Really? I feel like everyone who's played, like, Outer Wilds, Subnautica, and even Hollow Knight somehow get mentioned, like, in the same circles, right? People played Outer Wilds and they think the game's similar to that, and they end up with Subnautica or the other way around.
Yeah.
And Hollow Knight, even though from style and, like, the mechanics, it's very different, but the mystery of it and the lore, I feel like gives a similar vibe.
Yeah.
So people kind of, it's like these three games that people
Music
kind of end up
licensing
playing all of them after a while. But I played Outer Wilds and then Subnautica and then Hollow Knight.
Right.
And Hollow Knight, actually, so basically every game I played on stream started with Mr. Fox, my boyfriend, saying, "Hey, you should try this. I think you would like it." And then I tried it at his house. And then, besides Outer Wilds, Subnautica and Hollow Knight were like, I played for an hour or two, and I was like, yeah, it's alright. I don't think it's for me. Like, Subnautica, I was like, I don't get it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know why I should collect stuff. Like, it's scary. I don't want to be in the water when it's dark.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he pushes me a bit, and he's like, do you want to, like, maybe try again? Maybe, you know?
Yeah.
And then I try again, and then I get super obsessed. Every time, like, I don't think it's my thing, and then I give it, like, another hour, and then I get, like, obsessively addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Hollow Knight as well, I played for, like, an hour, and I was like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't really, you know, it's not my thing, whatever.
I did that with,
I don't know.
Bloodborne, actually. Or maybe I did Dark Souls first. One of the two. Originally I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. Mm-hmm. And then, I guess somehow or other I found the stubborn side of me, and I just, like, had to beat whatever boss. And then Hollow Knight, I was kind of hesitant to play it first. And a buddy was like, dude, you would really like it. If you were really good at Bloodborne, you should play Hollow Knight. And so after a year of him talking me into it, I finally did. And I was just like, I've put in so much time into Hollow Knight. And I want to fall in love like that with Undertale. But there are parts of Undertale that just, like, really frustrate me. Like there's a puzzle I'm stuck on.
Undertale is another game that I've played like 1 or 2 hours of, and I was like, yeah, cool, but it didn't catch me yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know, do you have this thing where if somebody recommends something too much, or they want you to play it too much, you kind of like move away from it more and more? Because I'm like, you're too keen on me playing this.
Yeah.
Like, or like a friend of mine kept on recommending for me to watch Fleabag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would love this, it's your humor, it's so great, like you should watch it. And I was like, yeah, I will. And then she'd ask, like, have you watched it? Have you started? I'm like, no, I will.
Yeah.
And then I started building up this resistance just because somebody wants me to watch it so much.
Yeah.
And then when I eventually get around to it, I do love it. They're like, the people are usually correct.
Yeah.
But there's like this inner resistance of like, if you recommend something too hard, I'm not gonna want to do it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I have this inner moody teenager just like, no.
Yeah.
I won't.
I'm like that with music a lot. I don't intend to be like picky or snobby about bands that I'll listen to, but I am. And then TV shows, I'm really, really picky about, just because my preferred media is anime. And if it's not anime, it's going to take me a long time to get around to it. I do like dark humor, so Fleabag really appealed to me, like almost immediately. But yeah, no, it is like the more somebody recommends something, the more I'm like gonna put it off.
Yeah.
So I empathize with that.
Made on recommendations.
Yeah. Which actually I don't feel like is a bad thing, because it kind of like prolongs your enjoyment of it.
Maybe, yeah.
So yeah. So what?
Yeah, I feel like I with Hollow Knight, I took a little bit of a break recently, not really on purpose, just because my PC started acting weird, and then I wiped it, so I had to reinstall everything.
Yeah.
And then I didn't stream much for a while. I mean, I'm still not back to streaming as often as I did for a while. Just because, I don't know, I kind of fell off the schedule, and now it's like, I want to stream, then I'm like, oh, actually, I made plans with someone, and I just forgot about them, and like... But so I just played Hollow Knight again a couple of times last week. And I don't know, it's weird because I've been grinding the Pantheons for weeks before taking a break, right? So
yeah.
I got until P4. I managed to beat P4, and then I tried P5 a bunch of times, and I got so frustrated. Because even if you have to go through so much to get to like one silly boss that's just gonna...
Yeah, dude. That game is... but the Pantheons are so frustrating. I was the same way. I was grinding P5 for an embarrassing amount of time. And finally, I just accidentally did it. And...
Really? I feel like I'm not gonna get past Sly again. I feel like getting past Sly originally was pure luck, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm now when I play, I focus more on the bindings, because I know I don't know what's behind I know that it's like the lifeblood door.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know what's behind. This is like the one piece of content in the game that I don't know yet. I'm sure there might be a few more boss variations in P5 that I don't know yet. But I kind of know what to expect. But I have no idea what's behind that door.
I don't either.
That's still intriguing. But yeah, I think also this is such a well-kept secret, because I think many people don't bother doing it because it's really hard and grindy and frustrating to get it opened. I think I don't know. I don't know if you have to do all bindings for P1 through 4, or even for, I don't know. I don't know how much I'm gonna have to do to open it, but it's like the one thing I don't know yet. And you don't accidentally spoiler yourself with it because people never talk about it on Reddit or stuff. I have never accidentally seen somebody talk about it.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah, I think not many people have done it, so they don't talk about it.
Yeah, my brother keeps telling me I should do it.
Like keeping it, I don't know, gatekeeping it.
No, well, I just found out, I think, because of your stream, actually, about the secret Zote room.
Oh, yeah, that was. This is another good thing about streaming again, right? I would have never thought to look for that, but somebody said. I knew that there were still a couple of things in the game that I wasn't aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of asked more specifically, and somebody said there's something in Godhome that you haven't found yet.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, okay, give me like, am I in the correct room right now? Yes. Okay. And then I think the hint that made me find it was, it helps if you've done Path of Pain before this. It's not necessary in any way, but it helps.
Really?
And then I was like, at the beginning of Path of Pain, it's like you have to jump up and like catch the next ledge or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, maybe it's this, and it was this basically. You have to like jump up to the ceiling and like do the same kind of jump how Path of Pain starts.
In all of my playthroughs of Hollow Knight, I've never found the Path of Pain.
Really?
Yeah.
So, do you not know where it is, or have you seen somebody else find it?
Neither. I have no idea. Like, I know it exists because I've seen people talk about it on Reddit, but I've never actually seen it.
I've done it. I had to leave my PC on overnight because I didn't want to lose progress.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I finished it the next morning before like having to catch a train. But do you know the general area that it's in?
No.
Okay, so I'm not gonna, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I knew like the general area it was in. So I was kind of looking for it. And then I got really frustrated, and somebody in chat said, if you were a game dev, where would you put it? And then I was like, what kind of stupid hint is that supposed to be? Like, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
And then at some point I got super frustrated, and I was like, you know what? If I were a dev, I would put it here. And that's exactly where it was.
That's wild.
Like, I was like, I would put it here, and I punched a wall, and then, you know the sound of like a secret path opening. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I actually found it.
Do you get an achievement for it?
I think they put it in the like, there's no achievement for it. That's the worst part.
Oh, so there's no point.
It's the worst part because it's such a grind, and then you get nothing.
Well, because
you get like a cutscene that's.
And is it inconsequential? Like, does it actually
what?
Inconsequent? Like, does it add anything or no?
Not really.
Okay. I mean, because
it's so silly that it's cool almost. It's like you've gone through all of this for like that little. It's not a bad cutscene, but it's not a big one. It's just like a moment of something.
Yeah.
And then I remember sitting there and being like, wait. Is there any? Am I getting an item or something for this? Is there anything else? And it's like, nope, that's it. Now you know why everything happened. I was like, what? That was just 5 seconds of your characters being there. Like nothing happened. Nothing happened. You know, it's like. But I feel like it's almost a meme.
Maybe that's why it's called the Path of Pain.
And then there's achievements for P5. I think there's an achievement for it.
Yeah.
Because people keep on saying that there's no achievement for Path of Pain because it's so difficult, and the devs wanted to make it possible for everyone to collect all the achievements. I don't think Path of Pain is harder than P5.
Oh.
You know, like it's different skill sets maybe.
Yeah.
If you have an achievement for that, what?
I don't know. After I beat P5, that's when I said, all right, I can finally put this game to rest. That was like my ultimate achievement.
I think the only things I still haven't managed to beat Nightmare King Grim.
That's a tough boss.
Yeah. That and then I do want to get
Music
into the
licensing
lifeblood room.
reimagined.
Because you've
So
gone...
P5 Grim in that room, and then I think I should have done everything.
You've beaten Nightmare King Grim before, right? Well, you have to have to... Oh, no?
No, because I banished the Grim Troop.
Oh,
in my
no
first
way.
playthrough.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I didn't really understand the consequences at that moment.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Because
beautiful
also
thing.
I hadn't made
Artlist
all the
IO.
traps unbreakable, so...
Well, you also then have the guy playing the accordion in Dirtmouth now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
I
the-
do like him.
His name's Brim, I think, or Braun. Or maybe he's
Braun.
Brawny, and that's why I think he's...
It's Brim or Brum,
Yeah.
but I think it might be
Music
Brum.
licensing
Because
reimagined.
in German, it's like woman is like it's like a sound you can make like you would say.
Oh, like grumbling?
Yeah, kind of.
Huh.
I think his name is Brum because I have this association, but I don't know. Maybe it's Brim.
Okay.
But his name was different before, right? Before you banish it.
Yeah. Because I think he's trying to, like, hide.
Yeah, I
Artlist
also
IO.
didn't realize until I watched a lore video or something, I didn't realize that he was the guy that we met who helped us banish the troop.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was because I think I went back then. I was like, where did the guy go? I was like, you met him in Howling Cliffs. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's the
Music
same person. I had no
licensing
idea.
reimagined.
Yeah. That game is so interesting because of that.
What? Such a good game.
Hold on. I'm going to pour myself another coffee real quick.
How do you drink your coffee?
Black.
Simple.
Yeah, I just like the flavor a lot more. And I don't know, I've just never found a creamer that I really like. And I don't like just...
When I started drinking coffee as a teenager, it would be like this instant cappuccino stuff with just sugar with like a little bit of coffee flavor in, I think.
Yeah.
But then I grew up in Berlin, and then after finishing school, I just moved to the UK. I just went with my best friend, we just moved to London without a proper plan.
Yeah.
We were like, let's get out of here, everything sucks.
For university?
No, we just went there, and then I worked as a waitress, and like, I don't know, she went back after a year. It was supposed to be like a gap year.
Yeah.
But I just stayed. I was just like, I like it here. I don't want to go back. I'll just stay.
Yeah.
And then I started taking some dance classes in the evenings, like, because if you work hospitality, obviously you're gonna work in the evenings. But I managed. I don't know how I had the energy and the money for stuff because I was working. I think my regular week was like 55 hours, and the minimum pay at the time was like $6.25, which is not much.
No.
And there's no tipping culture in the UK, so there's no extra money on that.
Yeah.
And then the dance classes I took were not cheap. I have no idea how it worked. I have no idea how I did it. But I started taking tap lessons and jazz, and then like swing, so Lindy Hop and stuff. And then I don't know, I just had a good life there. I was just like an immigrant who would, because I don't know, but working in hospitality in a different country feels better than doing it where you grew up, right?
Yeah.
Because it feels like you have extra motivation. You're like, I'm somewhere else and this is cool, and I like went away from home.
Well, it's a dream of mine to live in another country.
Yeah.
And technically with my job, I could do it without like actually living there. And what's interesting about being a flight attendant is there are people who, so I live and work out of Chicago, right? And there are people who work out of Chicago, but they will commute from like Los Angeles or New York to work out of Chicago. It's wild because some people, I've met people who even, they live in Japan, but they will still work out of Chicago.
How does that work?
They take like 14-hour flights to get here.
But is that like, would your work just pay that for you, or like? 'Cause that's expensive, right?
No, not for us.
Oh, okay. Okay,
It's
right.
like probably €35 to get back into the States. So like $40 to come from Japan
you have to do that for like every flight you work on.
So
I don't know how that.
the way they would do it is like they'll work like 2 weeks in a row,
okay.
and then they'll be off for 2 to 4 weeks, and then work another 2 weeks, and then so that way
that makes more sense.
Yeah, because otherwise, flying home for a day would be pointless, because then they'd have to turn right back around.
Do you get paid like a set wage or hourly?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the same in the US, but I think here I don't know, I read this somewhere and I was really shocked that apparently the flight attendants only get paid for hours in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that happens, preparation and stuff, you're just not being paid for that.
Yeah.
Which sounds like it's not gonna be enough money for anything.
It should be illegal.
Yeah.
And I think, so American Airlines and United are in the process of negotiating new contracts, because we're unionized, to where we get paid at least for boarding, because the way it works is we don't get paid until we pull the brakes off the plane and push back. So
how I wonder how that happened. Like, how did it come to that being the starting time?
Well, back
like,
in
what job do you have to?
Are you required to be at your place of work in uniform an hour before and performing duties?
Yeah,
but you don't have to get paid?
It's like if I have an opening shift at the restaurant, I'm going to be paid for my time. Or like at the theater, you're not being paid by time, right? You're being paid by performance.
Yeah.
Which is also something people argue about, like when it comes to money for acting and stuff. It's like, because sometimes if you have a good job, you get like, you earn I don't even know, because I'm working in a private theater now and they don't have much money, so they pay less than the private theaters don't have a what is it called? So for the theaters that get like funding from the government, there's a contract for a minimum wage for actors. Private theaters they don't have that because they don't get funding.
Oh,
or they
okay.
get like funding but for specific projects, so they don't have the same rules. So it's a completely different wage that you get, which is also kind of fucked up. But so people think you earn a lot if you earn like 100, 200 euros for a performance, because technically, sure, the performance maybe is only 2 hours, and then it's like, well, that's a great hourly pay. But if the performance starts at 7:30, I'm going to be there at 5, because I'm going to have to warm up, I'm going to have to like curl my hair, do my makeup, blah blah blah, and also like sit at home and go through the script and like, take singing lessons, do this and that stuff.
Yeah.
And people tend to not think of that when they think of the job, because like 90% of our work is not paid.
Yeah.
90% of our work happens off stage. Like there's so much training and stuff going into everything, and you don't just stop training when you finish education, because it's there's a lot of competition, so you just have to kind of so I don't know. Sometimes I have problems, because I feel like people like to make you feel, especially if you're like trying to get better pay, you get this feeling from others where it's like, are you doing this job for money? Is it not your passion? Like, don't you love doing this job? And I'm like, I do, but I have rent to pay and I have like insurance and stuff. and I don't know, it's funny sometimes.
No, it is. It's very interesting. Like, people look at jobs like ours and they think it's so glamorous, and in certain aspects it is, for sure. But, you want to be paid adequately to do something like that, because it's not just like, yeah, of course, in a perfect world you would do something that you love to do for free, but that's assuming you also don't have to pay to exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, also, like, it's not my fault that I ended up in a job that I like. It's like, I think you should be able to like your job and still get paid accordingly. It doesn't make your bills cheaper to love what you do.
Yeah, maybe this is a bit cynical of me, but I have come to the conclusion that most people don't like their jobs. Like, who wants to work?
No, that's just the system we live in. I think it's hard to like your job in a capitalist system.
Yeah.
Even if you originally liked your job, it's almost impossible to continue liking it because everything's turning out that you need to make more profit. Like, you can't just stay at a level. There has to be growth, and everything needs to be faster and better and stuff. And nobody can keep up with that.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, the whole system, like how also, I think this is a problem worldwide right now with, like, for jobs that are really, really necessary, like nurses, doctors, all that kind of stuff, and they are not paid well.
Yeah.
And somehow people don't get that that's not right.
Yeah. Nurses in Austin, Texas actually just went on strike not too long ago because they're trying to get, I think better pay, and there was something else along with it too. And they were kind of
also about hours. Like, they have caretakers have like crazy shifts and stuff that it's just unhealthy. It's funny working in like healthcare and then having such an unhealthy work-life balance.
Yeah.
Forced upon you.
Yeah.
Like, they will go around and tell people to like get better sleep and like try to exercise and like be out in the sun, and then they have to do like whatever 15-hour shifts or something. I don't know, it's silly.
No, it is
silly.
It seems unrealistic.
Yeah, like educators and stuff. Those jobs should earn a lot. And then they don't. And then people
Music
who
licensing reimagined.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we shouldn't get too political, but like landlords.
Oh man, don't get me started.
Passive income stuff, and then I don't know.
Yeah, because I get a little worked up about this topic because, the owner of my building wants to increase the rent every year, and I'm like, I'm not getting anything different out of this, dude. Like, why should I pay you more when I haven't gotten a single raise in 4 years?
Yeah, the house that I live in has been sold. And it's very obvious that they're trying to get all of us to move out and then renovate and sell the flats as like not rentable flats, but just sell them
like
to
condos
and stuff. So I moved within the building actually, because the flat share I was in, we kind of gave up because my flatmate, who was the main tenant, she just had an opportunity to have a nice flat somewhere else. So she was like, you know what, I'll just take it, because they weren't officially doing anything, but they just bother you. They just make it annoying.
Yeah.
But then I just moved in with a different neighbor, so I'm still here.
At least it wasn't a difficult move.
Yeah, it was. I just moved down 2 floors. It was great. It was the best move I've
Yeah.
Music
also, like, moving down. It's perfect.
Oh yeah. I don't have to walk upstairs or I just walk right in the door.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah. Also, my windows are like towards there's like a little, like the back of the house. And like technically there's other flats, and if we wanted to, we could see each other. But I don't have the windows facing the street, so I don't have to worry about like people walking past or something. There's just a little garden area.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. I can watch the squirrels. Close for me sometimes.
The windows in my apartment aren't big, but the bigger windows, they face another building, so like,
Nice.
But, yeah. But that's the thing about living in the city. So, okay. I've been wondering this, but I also want to ask you about your job, but, because, well, okay, let's do that, actually, because I'm curious. So you're an actress, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you usually get to pick your roles?
No.
Well, because you audition, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could do more, as in send out more applications and find more opportunities for myself, because I don't work that much,
Mm-hmm.
which is not comfortable, but I can live like this because I don't spend much. I don't, I live in a flat share. I don't have my own place and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the roles I've played so far, you don't really get to choose. Also, there's not that many positions to apply for.
Mm-hmm.
So you just apply for anything that could possibly fit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, beggars can't be choosers kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel that. Because when you first start as a flight attendant, you don't have a lot of say in your schedule and what you do. But now I do have a lot more flexibility. Because it's seniority based, which is both good and bad. Like, once you have seniority, it's great, but before you're kind of like begging for scraps.
Yeah, I think in acting also it's still, in the theater probably more than in TV, it's still very type-based.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've done, last year I've done a kids play.
Mm-hmm.
So we were animals, so that's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why they decided that I would be the bear and my colleague would be the tiger. But to be honest, we like looked at each other and we were like, it makes sense. Because she has more of a cat-like face and I have more of a like soft rounder face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just kind of makes sense somehow.
Okay.
But like I think it's it just comes down to traits and like how you seem.
Interesting.
Like energy wise and stuff, like if you're somebody that's moving a lot, you're gonna get those roles.
Yeah.
Because people just associate and stuff. But like, so in the theater, I've done a few things. So this kids play, and then I've done a thing that was also, we would tour through different schools, and it was a 2-person's play about Anne Frank.
Oh, interesting.
So in that, we just both played all roles. Like, you would switch in the play. We were both Anne Frank. We were both her mother, her father, the other people in the hiding place, and it would just kind of swap each scene, or like we would have a monologue each and stuff like that. So with especially like youth and kids theater that's in schools, that's more open for different types, and basically anyone can play any role, unless it's like very specific about discrimination and stuff. Like, obviously I wouldn't play a role where somebody is discriminated about because of race or something. That would just not make sense. And bad.
Yeah.
But in kids theater it's like a little bit more open. But if you're blonde, you're gonna play the princess, and if you're dark haired, you're gonna be the like stepsister or something. Like, that's unfortunately still a lot.
Yeah.
But so in the theater that I'm at most, I'm mostly like naive. dumb young girl.
Okay.
Like I've only done a couple of plays there. The first one was like I think it originated from a movie from the 30s or 40s. So the story is also a little bit icky. It's like a guy who didn't go to school because he was privately taught, and then him and his friends are like, oh, you should go back, school was so great, blah blah blah. But he's like a grown man, he goes back to school, and I'm like the 17-year-old daughter of the headmaster, and we fall in love. Which is, it's icky because he's a grown-up man,
yeah,
not a child, but I feel like right now still that's the category I fall into, because I'm like have like a youthful face, a brighter voice also.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff makes it it's silly a little bit because anyone can do anything, right?
Yeah, of course.
And we all have the ability to play different characters. But it's still a lot of typecasting. Like you will still be put into what people see first when they look at you, or like when they listen to you.
Yeah. So you kind of get stuck in certain roles, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so far I don't mind too much, but I've also not worked too much that it's become a huge problem.
Yeah.
So that's one play I do where also the female roles have like a handful of scenes in the whole thing. Like we are very unimportant.
Yeah.
In this play, I think I have like 3 or 4 scenes in the whole thing. I literally sit in the dressing room and wait for my turn most of the time.
So what happens?
Yeah, the play I did.
So what happens when you're doing that? Like, do you just like sit and hang out with the other actors and actresses?
It's just me. It's just me. I just sit there.
Oh, okay.
So because it's a very small theater, they don't really, in like a big public theater, you would have a person that would come and get me when it's my turn, or you would have like monitors and stuff. We have none of that. We have a baby phone that we set up so that I can hear kind of what's going on stage.
Yeah. And
then I just have to kind of, sometimes I go through my lines or something, or I just do something else.
Interesting.
Until I have to go back to stage, and then I do some background stuff. Like I will, between 2 scenes, I'll run around the other side and like put some glue on the mustache for my colleague, because he has a quick change where he needs to put it on really quickly.
Yeah.
So that's why I spend my time in between, like do stuff for others. Yeah, that's that. And then the other play that which was a new play for the theater. It's like a karaoke musical kind of thing. And my character there, the way I see it is that she's dyslexic because she just uses the wrong words.
Yeah. Like
similar sounding words that are just wrong. Like she's gonna say conservation instead of conversation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Stuff like that. Which is like, I am the butt of the joke a lot of the time because I just say stupid stuff.
Right. But that
and I'm like the one that's like super wide-eyed and like, but we don't know whether he actually cheats on you. Like maybe he uses the phone because he has a second job that he needs it for. Like she's very naive.
Yeah.
And like wants to. Yeah, but like there's obviously still differences in those characters, even though it's the same line of like, yeah, she's like the young, maybe naive one. There's still enough nuance so that I don't play the exact same character every time.
Right. So I think this may be kind of a good segue. So when you're getting on stage, do you get stage fright still? Or have you found like your presence, I guess? Like you feel confident when you step out?
It depends on what I'm doing on stage. For acting, I feel like also depending on how much rehearsal time you've had and stuff, sometimes you stumble onto stage very unprepared.
Okay.
Because circumstances are the way they are. But for acting, I feel more secure because it's less obvious if you make mistakes. Like the audience doesn't know.
Right.
Doesn't know your lines, doesn't know. But if you mess up like in a song or in a dance, it's more obvious. You know, if the words suddenly don't rhyme or like you don't hit the right note, people are gonna be able to tell. So I do get stage fright when I know like this is the scene where I have like a big song and I'm anxious about like the high notes or something.
Yeah. Well, I love listening to you hum when you stream. Because I play guitar and I wouldn't say that I'm a good singer, but like I can recognize when somebody is a good singer. So when you're like humming parts to the Pantheon themes, where was I going with that? Well, I had two different thoughts in my head. One was rhyming, and then basically I think you're a good singer, and I think you can hit the high notes, but maybe you feel more comfortable with lower range. Rhyming in German doesn't necessarily have to sound the same. Is that correct? Like it could be the end of...
That's a very general thing to say. I mean, so in German you have, I don't know if this is a German thing, you have true rhymes and untrue rhymes. Is that because I think you have that in English as well.
Could you give me an example?
No. Like something that's not a perfect rhyme. Wait, there must be a term for it. Wait, now I forgot the German word. Because I know that there's different kinds of rhyming, right? So also in poems you have like either like the first line and the second line rhymes, and then the third and the fourth. Or
Yeah.
like the first rhyme with the fourth and the second with the third, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But also with just words rhyming, there's a difference of like, because you have short and long vowels and open and closed vowels and stuff.
Yeah.
So words can be almost rhyming, be very similar but not quite.
Sure.
And I guess in like pop music and stuff, or like even rapping, they use, I think it's like untrue rhymes or something, like true rhyme and untrue rhyme, like clear rhyme, and I think there's terminology for that. So I think that exists in multiple languages.
Well, because I remember in university, like my professor was telling me, it was a German class, and she was talking about something technically rhymed because like the end of the word was the same. I think this was a long time ago, like probably 10 years ago.
In fiction, maybe. So if you technically would pronounce the first syllable of the word,
Mm-hmm.
but to make it rhyme, you mispronounce it, as in you put the emphasis on the second syllable or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that definitely happens. But I would think that it happens in English as well.
Oh yeah, there's tons of, like you said, pop songs that things don't necessarily rhyme, but the way you stress it, it does.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I've never noticed that that's like a specifically German thing.
I've never noticed it in other languages.
Yeah.
Like I love languages. I think they're super neat, but I don't think about like linguistics. Yeah, no. Well, I do whenever I'm listening to Japanese, because I don't like talking about this because I feel like I'm boasting, but I'm not, or I'm not intending to anyways. I speak okay German, but I don't speak it enough, so like I'm rusty. I speak Japanese. I think I'm pretty decent at that. Spanish, depending on the day, I remember more or less. And it takes a while to like switch between languages in my head if I'm trying to speak one or the other. But yeah, I'm not super analytical of every thing that I say, but when I'm listening, I'm like trying to pick it apart and like, okay, what exactly does this mean?
It's a little bit like in literature class when you interpret what a poet or like an author could mean by their work.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were to actually speak to those authors, they're like, no, the curtain is red because it's my favorite color or like something. But then in class, it's like they chose red curtains to symbolize that the workers in this historic phase, I don't know, whatever, something.
Yeah, or red.
It's like maybe subconsciously, but usually it's not that deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's probably the same with like, you can overanalyze most things. And a lot of the times there's truth behind it, but people just don't speak any specific way consciously.
Yeah. I mean, I spend a lot of time over analyzing anything, not on purpose. It's just the way my brain works.
Which can help.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you speak many languages. That's really cool. I always I would like to speak more languages, but I don't have discipline to like sit down and practice stuff.
Well, I got furloughed over the pandemic, and I've always wanted to learn Japanese because I watch anime and I hate reading. I mean, well, no, let me back. I don't hate reading. I just hate reading my shows and then having to look up and see what's happening with the characters.
Right. Yeah.
And so
you know this. There's a an Instagram account. I mean, it's probably. I think everything I see on Instagram is originally on TikTok. But
probably.
There's an Instagram account that she teaches Japanese, but like she has like a beat running. I don't know. I don't plan to learn Japanese at all, but it's just so entertaining because she's always like, something hurts, and then she's like da 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 da.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Such a smart way to teach language, and I guess with Japanese it works really well.
Mm-hmm. It's a very rhythmic language.
Exactly, yeah.
Somebody...
Yeah, I don't know, really cool.
One of my favorite authors, he's a fiction writer, but, you know, he said in multiple books, I think, that if you can learn the rhythm of a language, you can figure it out. And I have never felt like that's true, but maybe I'm just not skilled enough. Because I don't feel like a lot of languages have that. Or... Not that I'm like a polyglot or anything.
Yeah, I lived in the UK for 2 years, which it's been so long since I've been back. Like that felt like such a big part of my life, and now I've been back for so long that it's 2 years. It's not a big part of my life anymore. But sometimes it's weird for me to grasp that like I've been back like 4 times the amount of time that I've been gone. But especially because I was 19 when I moved there, so it was also a phase where you just change a lot or like grow up a lot.
Yeah.
But when I used to have a more of a British accent, makes sense because you're there and then you speak the way that people do.
Yeah.
And then when I started my musical education, I remember a friend of mine saying that you would be able to tell that I speak English fluently by the way I speak in German. Like she said, I once to me, and I was like, how would you, what? But what she meant was like the way they, like the melody. Because I still spoke in like a more British melody than in a German one. Because in different, also like between, I just saw a clip of Zendaya talking about this. In American English, you tend to go down at the end of a sentence. In German as well. You end a sentence, you go down. In British English, they end up more.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that now.
Yeah, and it's like there's differences in the melody and like whether you end a sentence low or like stay or go up and stuff like that, or like where in a sentence do you put the emphasis, how do you use filler words and stuff like that, and that's like a rhythm and a melody. So there's definitely a point to that where even if somebody doesn't have a great vocabulary or like great pronunciation even, if they get the rhythm right, I feel like their English or whatever is really good, but I don't know why. But it sounds really natural, and it's like because they have like the right, I don't know, melody and rhythm. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, yeah, because like, some languages sound kind of like when Danish speakers speak English, it sounds kind of sing-songy to me.
English speakers. The only thing I can think about is right now is this one guy who's from Iceland, I think, on Instagram, and he has a very melodic way of speaking.
Yeah, God, I love Iceland. Iceland is such a beautiful place.
Accents are really cool.
They are.
Like, accents and dialects are so interesting.
Yeah, but I feel like you have to be careful with that sometimes because, well, okay, being attracted to a person, you can't just be like, oh, I love your accent because that's apparently shallow. I mean, I don't know. I just like the way they sound.
It depends. I guess it depends on the situation. Because if you don't know somebody at all, and you're just attracted to them because they have also like an accent that's like considered exotic or like a German accent, for example, is not considered an attractive accent, even though some people like it.
Yeah.
But if you say Italian or French, those are like sexy accents. But just because that's, I don't know, just established this way.
Yeah.
So I guess, of course, if you're with somebody who has an accent, you're gonna hopefully like the way they speak.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like also depends on the person. Like my boyfriend he was born in Russia. He's been in Germany since he was 3, but he does speak Russian.
Cool.
I never considered Russian to be an attractive language, or I never thought about the language. I never cared about it.
Yeah.
And then one day, his dad called and he answered the phone and he spoke Russian, and I was like, I guess I find Russian sexy now. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I never would have thought. I never thought about that language at all. I never heard it and thought, oh, that's like a cool language. But then he speaks it, and I'm like, it's impressive, hot.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly, it depends on the person, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think Regina Spektor was like one of the first people that I heard sing in Russian, and I was like, oh, am I attracted
Regina
to?
Spektor?
Yeah.
In Russian?
Yeah. She has a song Après moi. I think it's on her Begin to Hope album.
French, though.
Yeah, but she's not singing in French. I think I'm right. Check it out because it's good.
Is she Russian?
She is, I don't know how to say this. I think she's a Polish Jew or a Russian Jew.
Uh-huh.
Today's not the 16th, is it?
It's the 15th.
Okay, because a union rep just called me. Let me see.
Yeah, yesterday when you said you would call me, I was like just about to get ready for dinner because it was Valentine's Day, and then you said I'm gonna call you in a few minutes. I was like, wait.
Well, I did it today again too. I wish this Discord server that I'm a mod in a happy Friday, and they were like, it's Thursday, right? So I looked at my phone. I was like, false alarm. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to get your hopes up.
My bad.
I guess I'm just living one day in the future constantly.
Why not? And then I got confused because I was like, wait, I'm like, my time zone is ahead of yours, right? I was like, maybe yours is ahead of mine, so maybe it is Thursday for you already, but then that would make sense also, because that would be like a different time than...
Yeah, no, you were right. I am never, like, in the present time. I one time spent...
I had this week as well. Like, the day before, yesterday.
Yeah.
Just looking at my calendar. I was gonna meet my former flatmate and her dog. And then on Tuesday, because she texted me, she said, how about Wednesday at 1? And I was like, yeah, that's good. And then on Tuesday, I had a singing lesson, and then I was back at home at like 12:30. And then I was like, oh, she didn't text me. I don't know, like, we didn't make plans. She just said, what about this time? I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, that's weird. I guess I'll just stay home and make sure that I'm here in case she just comes by or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at like 2, I was like, okay, maybe I should check. And then I looked at the message and I was like, oh yeah, she said Wednesday. Well, like, I don't know. It's also like, why would I not just check if I'm not sure? But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know about you, but I always have like this secret hope that people are going to cancel plans.
Oh,
I love canceled plans. And I used to not like that, but I just like...
Same. I've also gotten so chill about unanswered text messages.
Yeah.
I've also gotten bad at replying, but I used to be this person that would also always reply immediately. And then, especially when like dating people, I would get so anxious when people wouldn't reply.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And now,
yeah.
I'm horrible at replying. Like 3 to 5 business days. If you want me to do more than chit chat, if you want me to actually talk about something, it's gonna take a while probably, because not because I don't have the time, just because I see this thing and I'm like, I need to sit down and focus on that and not watch something at the same time. And that's already difficult. If I can't listen to a podcast or something at the same time, that's I'm gonna have to sit down properly. And I like to push those things ahead into the future.
Yeah. Okay. I do want to ask a couple more questions, and then I won't take up any more of your time. So going back to stage fright and things like that, when you start streaming, do you get nervous at all?
I get so nervous when I have
Music licensing
this is why they are disabled right now. The songwriting redeem and the no speaking, just singing redeem.
Yeah.
It's funny because I sing constantly, as you said. I hum the entire time. Not even sometimes I don't even know. I just do it. But then when it's a redeem, I feel like it needs to be entertaining, or like, you know, technically I'm humming the entire time and that is singing, but then I'm like, okay, now I have to sing words.
Yeah.
And suddenly my head is empty and I'm like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
And then I just am thinking like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I get incredibly nervous with that at times, which is why they are turned off right now. Well, the songwriting video also because I need to figure out like instruments and Ableton Live and stuff.
Yeah.
But generally, it depends on how I feel. Like sometimes you have anxious days and then I'm gonna be more concerned about how entertaining I am, and then I do get nervous.
Yeah.
And also when it's like, so with Hollow Knight, for example, I'm comfortable now because also I know that a lot of people like Hollow Knight and people come for that. But then I mean, you probably also know this sensation of like you switch to a new game, and then there's always this fear of like, am I gonna lose all my audience because they just came to watch this game, and now because I know this as well from me being a viewer on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like I have people that I have followed a while ago because they were playing Outer Wilds.
My cat, not you.
And then they switch. Oh, cat. I can just see the tail. And then they switch to a game that I'm not interested in, and then I'm not watching them, which is fine, you know. But then, yeah, I don't know. So I get nervous about stuff like that. But generally, I guess because I have the game, I'm like, worst case, I will just play, and then, you know, if people don't want to watch, they can go.
Yeah.
But I think if I did more of a, yeah, I don't know, if I did like chatting streams or something, I think I would be way more nervous about that. When I did the 100 follower special stream, I was so nervous for that. Also because I said I would try to learn some piano. It's not like, I think I was trying to learn a little bit of Angry Birds Outer Wilds medley.
Oh, cool.
And I'm not a good piano player, right? I can play like I learned a song when I was 13 or 14. I can still kind of play that, but besides that, I can play melodies and stuff, but I can't like do proper crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, piano's a hard
Ended
instrument.
up being fine and fun, and like I didn't learn much of the song, maybe a couple of bars. Like I didn't get anything done, but that's not what people come for, right?
Yeah.
So it ended up being fine, but I was really nervous for that.
Cool. So what got you into streaming?
I think I've always wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to be a YouTuber, and then at some point I was like, maybe I should start a podcast. Like I always wanted to put some sort of content onto the internet.
Yeah.
I did make a couple of YouTube videos when I was 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was one guy, I think it was a guy, I don't know. But there was one person that bullied me so heavily that I stopped.
Oh man.
Like it was really I don't know, he would just say the most stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually I stopped. And actually I found, I don't know, I just realized a few years ago that on the profile you have like a kind of like a guest book section, which somehow I hadn't gotten notifications for that, and I just randomly saw like these comments from like 13 years ago saying, hey, you haven't uploaded any videos in a while, hope you're okay, like don't get discouraged because of the haters and stuff like that. And I was like, there were a couple of people like saying stuff that I hadn't noticed back then. I was like,
that's
there
nice.
were actually people like supporting me, which was so cute. But there was just this one troll who you know. And I remember I made a video just talking about like, I don't know why you would leave hateful comments like this, and like you don't know me, I don't know you, like, you know, just block me or something if you don't want to see my videos.
Yeah.
And then he downloaded that video, didn't do anything, didn't do any editing or anything, and he just re-uploaded it as it is, and the title was like ugly emo cunt being annoyed or something like that. Or like maybe not, I think it wasn't ugly, I think it was fat. Like fat emo cunt. And I was 14,
God.
I was a teenager. This person was, I don't know, maybe they were also cute. But it was so stupid, and they didn't even add anything. You know, like it's not like they added anything onto the video. They just re-uploaded it.
That's fucked up.
It was so stupid.
Why? Who has the time and energy to do that?
Maybe I was a teenager or a child. It was probably not an adult. But anyway, so that's why I stopped back then. And
Yeah.
that was around like 2007 and 8, where if you've been on YouTube at that time and like the years after, that's when like the people who kind of became the first YouTubers that started earning money with that started. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I had regret for a while because I was like, you know, I shouldn't have stopped, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I always thought, what do I have to say? Like, I'm not an expert or anything on anything. I don't have any like original perspective on whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to how I view it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I would like to make a podcast. But about what? You know, what do I have special knowledge about that other people don't?
That's how I feel too. But
sorry?
That's how I feel too. And but I was talking to a coworker of mine, and she was saying that, you know, there are people who just consume content, like YouTube creators or, you know, Instagram people, whatever. So they're always on the hunt for new creators.
Yeah.
And also
I consume that content too, and I don't care if the people I watch have any like expertise or something, but if it's me, I need to, you know, I'm missing a word. I don't know, I need to like have a reason to do this. I need to, people come back to me and say, why do you think you're important enough to have an opinion, or like why should people watch your stuff? I need to have something to say. like because I'm an expert on this or that, which is just insecurity basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of, and like even having like friends and stuff who say, oh, I would listen to your podcast, like you're entertaining, you're funny, you know, whatever. But it's like, yeah, but you're my friend, you like me, you know.
Yeah, you think they're.
It's like my mother saying I'm a great singer, like yeah, sure. So I don't know. I just never. I just waited. You know how you just wait until something comes up.
Yeah.
And then streaming kind of just happened. Like, I met my boyfriend, and then he kind of got me into gaming, and then since I started playing with him watching me, it kind of felt like a natural step to stream. And also a game like Outer Wilds where people are so hungry for playthroughs because there's no way to experience the game again unless watching somebody else. And then actually a friend of, or like an acquaintance of mine from my musical education, she's been streaming forever, and she has like a big YouTube channel and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And I watched her stream a couple of times years ago before I ever thought about streaming. And she was playing Hollow Knight at the time. And I didn't know anything about the game.
Yeah.
But that was funny, and then like 5 years later I ended up on Twitch streaming Hollow Knight. I don't know,
cool.
It was funny. Yeah, I don't know, it just felt logical to do it. And I think I didn't know what I was getting myself into as well. I think the first couple of streams I was just like, I don't know, I'll just game and like be on Twitch and see what happens, and then you know, people would come in and talk.
That's exactly what I did. I just was like, I think I'm gonna do it, and I started streaming in October, and then this feels more like my style, but I still like the idea of streaming.
I think sometimes it's also I keep on noticing more and more that content creators I watch on YouTube also stream, and I don't watch their streams, but it's like a different genre if you make YouTube content, and then the streams aren't technically the content you make, they're just like a space to hang out with people that consume your content, so it's a little bit of a different setting.
Yeah.
Which I guess could be less pressure then to like perform, or yeah, it's just to hang out.
Yeah.
Which is also what streaming is, but still, you're like, if that's your main thing that you do, you feel like, oh, I need to, I don't know, sometimes I see people being so creative with like special redeems and stuff, and I'm like, I have such a long list of things that I want to do, or like, I don't know anything about drawing, but I was like, no, I need to draw the emotes myself. I can't just buy, there's so many great Fox emotes that I could just buy for like 10 euros.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I need to spend 10 hours to draw this crappy looking emote.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I feel like I've progressed a lot if you compare like the first emotes to the last ones. But now I just have this pressure of like, well, I'm gonna have to redo all the early ones because they look shit now in comparison, right? But like stuff like that.
Well,
I don't know, such a long list of stuff I want to do, but I never get around to it because I'm like procrastinating.
Prince has a karaoke redeem where I don't know if somebody picks a song or if he picks a song and he sings it, but it's like a stupid high channel redeem, like maybe close to 10,000 points. Because he hates performing. Like, well, he doesn't hate it, it just makes him really nervous. But he's a good singer.
Yeah, like you go to a karaoke bar and technically you do want to sing, but you need somebody to like force you to do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I do want to, it's fun, but I'm not just gonna say that. I need you to push me to do it.
Yeah.
Like, he put that redeem in himself, nobody forced him to, but he needs people to spend that many points to be like, okay, I guess I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, I think I'm also, with music on Twitch, I'm scared of the copyright stuff.
Oh,
I think if
yeah.
you play music yourself, it's fine. Like, it's technically, you could be I don't know. There was one day where I watched hours and hours of videos about copyright and cover songs and what's a cover and what's a parody and are you allowed to change the lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
It's so complicated, and technically they can like just demonetize you, I guess, and like take the whoever owns the song or the music could like take the money you earn from that stream or from that YouTube video.
Right.
Which is more likely what they would do instead of like suing you, because who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not like you're a big musician
Yeah.
taking money from them. But I'm a bit anxious about that, so that's also why I'm like scared. But there's so many people making music on Twitch. And also using like YouTube playbacks, I guess, and that seems fine, but technically it's not allowed.
Yeah.
So
Copyright laws are so interesting. Well, complex. I wouldn't say it's interesting because I will never read up on them. I just do my best to not use popular music if I'm going to use music at all. But
yeah, I don't know. It seems very complicated. There's also a thing of that it's easier to upload a cover to Spotify than to YouTube, because you technically need an extra license to put a video to the song, even if it's just a video of you singing it. Like you need an extra license for that, as opposed to when it's just an audio file.
Interesting.
But I don't know. It seems silly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's not, even if it doesn't matter if it's a YouTube video, a music video, or just of you performing it, or just clips of you as a child running through the garden, like that all would need an additional license.
Damn. That's wild. That's a lot.
So stupid, especially if you consider how many musicians have become famous or like have been discovered because they uploaded covers to YouTube. Back when, you know, the copyright laws weren't as strict, or like I guess people also don't care as much. I'm probably just overly anxious. But especially because Twitch is like American law applies.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just a bit like I don't want to get in trouble with any American lawyers.
Yeah.
That sounds scary.
I can't imagine
I
it
don't
would
want
ever.
Taylor Swift's lawyer to come after me. That'd be good.
I can't imagine she would. She's a nice person, from what I hear.
Yeah, I don't think she would have a say in it.
Fair enough.
Well, actually, no, because she does own her songs.
She does now, yeah.
But I feel like people that are this big, they don't make small decisions like this. I think they have like a team of lawyers, and they will decide who needs to be sued for copyright and who doesn't.
I guess I never thought about that. I mean, I don't think about it at all, really.
Yeah, I usually just think about this stuff while I speak about it.
Right.
But sometimes things don't make sense. Like
a stream of consciousness.
Saying half a sentence and like, actually.
Yeah. Well, Fox, it's been an hour and a half, and this is like not felt very difficult. But I don't want to take up any.
I don't think we made any proper intro, but that's probably okay.
Oh,
that fits the vibe, right?
Yeah, I made an intro, like introducing you before, so like that'll.
Right, yeah.
So then it'll just kind of like segue into this.
Cool. I was thinking about plants called Operan.
But
what did you say? Like Fox the plant killer. Plant murderer.
Yeah. No, I like to do it before, so it's not like as like, hi guys, this is ForFoxSake. I do that before, so that way it's not like, you know, an awkward intro. So you're just sitting there like, yeah, that's who I am.
That's me. Hi.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't want to take up any more of your time because I think it's getting late in the evening, your time, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
it's the plans I have still not been cancelled, so I guess I'm gonna have to go outside soon. That's what I was thinking about when you said like you kind of like plans being cancelled. I was like, so it's like I'm gonna have to go outside.
all right. Well, I'm
That's good.
gonna.
I'm meeting friends. I like them. It's just
Yeah. No, I get it. I really do. Like that's how
I don't think
I love my friends, but I also love sitting on my couch.
I don't have a couch. I have this armchair.
With the Snorlax. Do you have a poke flute for it? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode with Fox. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did, and getting to talk about who she is and what she does for her main source of income. It was definitely a treat having her, and hopefully you all enjoy this as well. Please give it a like if you like, and give me a comment or something. Anyways, have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.